I was going to ask you your reaction to the fact that Grant Shapps, the new Defence Secretary, has spoken of Ukraine as his first public utterance.
First of all, I want to use this opportunity to thank British people, British Parliament and British government for the enormous support, for your leadership, during the all 9 years of the war, and especially during the last 1.5 years. I shall also thank Ben Wallace, a good friend of mine and a great friend of Ukraine, for the tremendous job from the very first day of Russia full-scale aggression. And my best wishes today to the new Defense Minister, Grant Shapps. I remember how effective he was during the Russian attack on the object of the critical energy infrastructure, supplying their first energy position. And I have no doubt that that would be effective cooperation. Behind me, we have a British artillery track, and the British government issued a very quick license for supplying it to our armed forces, and that would buy for my personal money, delivering already 300 trucks from the Great Britain, delivering other armed vehicle. And this is position of the real friend. Friend in need is a friend indeed. And welcome to the Grant Shapps.
OK, and I think he was with you in Ukraine just last week, of course, with his job as the Energy Security Minister, looking at nuclear power issues, of course. And let's not forget, I think he's hosted a Ukrainian family in his own home as well. So there are very strong links there.
No doubt that he is deeply involved in the Ukrainian matter. And this is just a full scale of the problem we need to solve. First is a Russian aggression. We need Ukrainian victory. And my message to the whole world, please don't be afraid of Ukrainian victory, because without Ukrainian victory, the war will not finish. And without NATO membership, and I want to thank Ben Wallace and British government for support Ukrainian aspiration for the NATO membership, and the object for the energy, especially the security of the nuclear energy infrastructure, is also vital for us. And another thing, that today we have a very successful attack with a long-range missile attack against Pskov airport, where we destroy the several strategic airplanes from which they make an attack on the object of the Ukrainian civilian residents. This is very important for us.
Yeah, and we saw also the drone attack, which reached an airfield some 400 miles from the Ukrainian border. Does this indicate that it's going to become more of an aerial battle at the moment?
This indicates that the Ukraine growing military strength. I just want to remind you that Ukraine is a space state, and we have a missile technology. And from my presidency, from the year 2014, the new and sophisticated missile technology and missile was happening. I just want to remind you that in the April year 2022, we attacked by our missile Neptune the Russian flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, Moscow. Russia shall not enjoy the luxury of waging war without feeling the war on its own territory. And this is our main position, that nobody in Russia will feel safe until Russia do not stop bombing Ukrainian cities, towns, Ukrainian people.
Now, clearly, there is a problem in the clock is ticking towards the advent of winter. That does affect the way that you wage the warfare. But I gather on the ground that you're making advances towards Melitopol, and you've overcome the Russian defences that they've been preparing for, quite a while. So obviously, it's slow progress, but it is progress.
Undoubtedly. And look, this is not a Hollywood movie, and this is not just to sit in, eating popcorn and waiting the big picture. Ukraine has pay enormous price. Every single week I'm on the battlefield. Every single week I'm losing my comrades, member of my team. Tomorrow I will be on the funeral, and yesterday I was on the funeral. But this is the price Ukraine pay for the slow but very important success in our offensive operation. And today we are definitely much closer to our common victory than we were 18 or even 12 months ago.
Okay.
Please, again, don't be afraid Ukraine victory and Russia defeat.
But you know there was that wobble, if I can describe it that way, when Ben Wallace said, you know, we are not Amazon, referring to the demands being made for more equipment, more weaponry and so on. Are you still anxious that perhaps, particularly with America and the political change there, that you may have to really push to get this aid still coming through?
First of all, we are very much grateful. Great Britain, United States, as a fifth president of Ukraine and as a supreme commander-in-chief, I can tell you, weapons is never enough. But without your assistance, nothing can happen. And the more weapons you will supply, the sooner would be victory. And I want to especially thank the Great Britain for the Storm Shadow missile, because when we have this technology for more than 200 kilometers, this is definitely help us to destroy the ammunition storage, the Russian headquarters, and many, many other things. That's why, please, more weapons, more sanctions, and membership for Ukraine in NATO. This is three key factors of our future victory.
Now, you very kindly keep us updated with what's happening there on the ground with the message from Kyiv. Can I ask you how you are personally? Because clearly, as you say, you are very directly involved personally with this. You must be a tired man.
Look, first of all, we are very much proud about the ability of Ukrainian armed forces to stop the second biggest nuclear machine in the world. This is definitely the heroism of our soldiers. And the situation there, both on the east, near Bakhmut, Kurdyumovka, Klishchiivka, extremely difficult. Situation near Orekhovo in Zaporizhia, on the border between Zaporizhia and Donetsk region, is extremely difficult. But we definitely have a success. We keeping fingers crossed for the success of our attack on Tokmak. And we will never be tired until our victory. This is our joint victory. Victory of Ukraine, victory of Ukraine and Great Britain, victory of free and democratic world.
And meanwhile, let's just reflect, of course, as you say, there's still the funerals to go to honour those who have fallen for your country.
You are absolutely right. And tomorrow would be the funeral of the husband, Maxim, and his wife, who is also in our assault paratroopers team, who was heavily wounded, Marusia Zvirobey, heavily wounded in her legs, but they are full of decisiveness, not leaving the armed forces, and continue to beat until our victory.
Petro Poroshenko, former president of Ukraine, thank you once again for updating us here on GB News.